Well, we have come out of executive session, and I would like to call to order the 2,480th meeting of the Darien Police Commission. Acceptance of minutes of 7/25/24.
I'll make a motion to accept.
I will second. Any changes, corrections? Hearing nothing, all those in favor? Chief, correspondence.
Yes, a couple items of correspondence. The first was I received a message from a local pastor thanking Officer Ackerman, who made a morning birthday visit of his little boy a couple weeks back, and a cute little video was sent to me, and they were very appreciative of Officer Ackerman taking the time to stop by and wish their son a happy birthday. It was quite the event for him. Next, we have a message I received from a former Darien resident who was praising Detective Silva. A friend of theirs had occasion to work with Detective Silva on a very serious but sensitive incident, and said she was nothing but professional, and she did a very good job in handling a situation that was tough for that particular family. So Detective Silva has continued to rise above in all that she does, and I know she works very hard behind the scenes on a lot of the investigations that she's assigned, and we appreciate all of her efforts.
Seems to be doing well in the detective bureau and enjoying it, which is good.
Yeah, she's in a good spot there. And then lastly, we received a thank you note from Alicia Sillers, who's the youth director for the town, and also Janice Marzano, who's running she's the former director of the depot. Thanking several officers that stopped in to their middle school summer camp called Camp Menace. They had Officers Hinckley with K-9 Argo, Officer Thurston, Officer Budd, Officer Dan Arrett, and Sergeant Jimenez they thanked them for organizing such an informative and interesting presentation, and they got some great feedback not only from the kids in attendance there, but also their parents. So thank you to all those officers who participated. And that covers correspondence.
All right, department activity. Captain, the demo's not here, so.
Yep.
Andy?
Yeah, so we got a few notable incidents. We're dating back to July 24th. The first one, July 24th, we had an attempted burglary. It was discovered at Complete Angler, 319 Post Road. The incident occurred on July 20th around 3 a.m. and the investigation is ongoing as it may be related to another recent incident that occurred in town. On the morning of July 27th, patrol officers investigated suspicious vehicles in the area of Long Neck Point Road with occupants stealing packages from residents. Responding officers encountered the suspect vehicles, one of which swerved at a patrol vehicle, almost striking the patrol vehicle, and they all fled the area at a high rate of speed. It was later determined that 4 vehicles were stolen throughout the overnight and early morning hours in the area of Pear Tree Point Road, Rebel Lane, Pembroke Road, and Goodwives River Road, all with keys left inside.
What was the last spot? All with keys left inside.
Yep.
Okay.
In January, patrol officers had investigated a larceny from Stop and Shop located in Goodwives Shopping Center, in which over $850 worth of baby formula was stolen. Throughout investigative means, the suspect, a male from Milford, Connecticut, was identified and arrested by warrant on July 29th. On July 29th, a Darien resident was issued a misdemeanor summons, which is basically a non-custodial arrest for permitting minors to possess alcohol at a residence on Cherry Street. On August 5th, a vehicle was stolen from a residence at Saltbox Lane, where the owner left the key fob on the tire. The next day, the vehicle was involved in a motor vehicle accident in Stamford, which caused significant injury to the vehicle occupants. The vehicle was pursued by Stamford police into Darien, where all the suspects were apprehended and arrested by members of the Darien Police Department and Stamford Police Department. The detective division here is continuing this investigation. On August 13th, detectives received a hit, which is an alert from our Flock mobile camera on a stolen license plate attached to a vehicle that had been involved in criminal activity. The alert showed that the vehicle had just entered Darien. After confirming the status of the plate, detectives alerted patrol officers who quickly located the suspect vehicle. Patrol officers also observed a second vehicle, later determined to be stolen, from a home on Hollow Tree Bridge Road with the keys in it. and both vehicles fled Darien at a high rate of speed. That investigation is ongoing as well. On August 28th, patrol officers responded to 2 burglaries on the Post Road. Post Corner Pizza and J Nail and Spa. Both were forced entry and most likely related to each other. This investigation is ongoing. Statistics within that time frame dating back to July 24th, we had 5 domestic disturbance calls, 3 identity theft incidents, 4 motor vehicle burglaries. We had 3 vehicles were unlocked, 1 was forcibly entered, 10 stolen motor vehicles, all with the keys left inside, 30 motor vehicle accidents, 4 that resulted in an injury, 5 on private property, a total of 383 traffic stops by patrol officers and the traffic division, 458 total stops from the grant we had running from July 8th to August 16th, and approximately 1,338 calls for service.
Is the grant done at this point?
Yeah.
Pretty close, yeah. I think we've exhausted all the funds, yeah.
Great job on it.
Yeah, I just want to again point out the work and coordination that the traffic officer, Tim Budd, put into this was remarkable. A lot of the officers stepped up to work the details. I know it's not something we can measure, but I'm certain that we prevented accidents and kept the road safer during this time period. I think Tim will look to procure additional grants in the future so that we can participate in other campaigns that are similar. I'd also like to comment on a couple things here. As you can see, and not unlike other weeks where we give department activity, some of the more serious and most dangerous to our community, these incidents that we've talked to involve stolen cars. And these stolen cars are from our residents and nearby residents in other towns leaving their keys in their car. These particular incidents did involve hurting innocent people. The August 13th incident, those vehicles, the one vehicle that was stolen in Darien ended up traveling up Route 7 and was involved in several collisions in Ridgefield, Wilton, and I think in Danbury, where people were injured. And as you can see, the vehicle that Stanford Police Department was chased into town here, that ended up crashing. That was also a vehicle that was stolen the previous day in Darien, in which the keys were left on a tire. These incidents, it's simple, and I know Chief Anderson used to say the same thing, they would not be happening here if people were locking their cars and taking their keys with them.
And I read that right, somebody actually said they didn't leave the key in the car. So they listened, but they left it on the tire,
Correct.
outside of the car.
Correct. Parked on the road in front of the house.
Just might as well bring the key in at that point, you know, you gotta have
Yeah,
a
you
car.
gotta put it somewhere,
Come on.
put it on the tire instead of bringing it inside.
So it isn't just the property crimes we're worried about here. People are getting hurt based on the actions of our residents, leaving their keys in their car and the car's unlocked.
And Chief, I mean, you have found these vehicles with, other things in it, whether it be weapons and the like, right? So you're bringing that into town when you leave your car unlocked. effectively.
100%. And then obviously the vehicles that are taken from town here go on to be, and they're used in other serious crimes across the state, including shootings, armed robberies, lots of narcotics transactions, and then obviously you have the high-speed pursuits that are injuring innocent bystanders.
I'm glad to see some of the technology you implemented that has been effective.
Yeah, we're going to continue and expand upon that as well.
Any other questions? Okay, public comment, I see exactly nobody here from the public, so we will pass over that. Old business, Cloud 10 car wash. I don't see the Cloud 10 people here, and Ally's not here, so I'm not sure what the discussion is there. Maybe we can table that until something else comes up. I'm not sure if they're waiting for us or, but maybe they'll show up and I will be happy to circle back. Fairfield Avenue parking.
If I remember correctly, I think the residents of Fairfield Ave had requested some no parking signs, or a no parking sign in a certain spot near the intersection with West Avenue. I believe the commissioners and Captain Hidema made site visits, and maybe we can make a decision on that.
I don't have the exact wording in front of me, but I did visit and I see what they're talking about, and I have no problem making it no parking, certainly as we pull into that road. You know, question about what happens on the rest of the road, but certainly the corner there, if a car is parked there, that makes it significantly less safe. So, I don't know if we have a motion, because I don't have exactly what we want to,
I think maybe we can allow Captain Demmer to go out there and coordinate where the location of the signs.
Yeah.
Public Works and
Public Works, yeah.
yeah, if you need, we can certainly vote on it next time when it's in front of us, but she can at least start the process
Okay.
directionally correct. Just lost my- let's see, looking for too many papers here. Oh, here. Outdoor building sign.
So as the commission knows, our sign is in somewhat rough shape. It's, I think, now about 13 years old, and Captain Hidema had been looking into replacing, refurbishing, redesigning the sign, and she's got a couple of quotes. And the question before the police commission was whether we should seek authorization to use funds from the false alarm account, or should that be something that maybe we reconsider on how to fund that, more traditional ways of purchasing. I don't know if there's room in our current budget to, we're looking at a figure of almost $6,500, one of the quotes.
Yeah, it's always a challenge to these unforeseen expenses, you know, that pop up, and some we have to go forward and purchase certain things. It's just a matter of finding what accounts we can use, and if it's not budgeted, it usually presents some sort of challenge. So we try to get this type of stuff in our budget prep, so that way we know what's coming, and we'll have the appropriate funds available for it. So, but I'll have to assess our operating budget and everything, and just kind of see.
So we got the 3 quotes, and it's around $6,500. All right.
Well, we could table it again until the next meeting, when Captain Hidema has a little bit more information, and maybe we can do a little bit more research of where that could come from. I will go on record in saying that the sign and the building and our grounds are very representative of the town. Not only just the police department, but the town itself too, and to have a sign kind of in the condition that it's in, it just has a certain optic to it that I think we might want to.
Are we looking to change the look of the sign, or are we just looking to, is it going to be exactly the same?
The sign posts will remain, they're stone posts, but the wood material in between that actually has the name on it, and our patch and our seal on it is what needs to be replaced.
And I think
And
that's
it will
what
look,
AZAC
it will basically look the same, it's just new and better.
I
mean, you're not looking
haven't seen the
the design.
mock-ups, but I think we have a little bit of flexibility
Okay.
there, but that would, of
I-
course, be after you've approved it all.
I think it's different material, it's the AZAC we should.
Well, it should be
forever,
exact,
yeah.
yes, so that it will last forever. But besides the material, we're not looking to change the sign, we're just looking for it to not be rotting out. All right. Maybe we can table it and see a picture, so we have it in
Sure.
our files. Not that I can't walk out and see it, but maybe the new one, if it's supposed to be different. So if Ally can just present us with the details of the quotes, that would be great. Okay. Updated general order covering the police radio encryption, which was as of July 1st, which is this big red document.
So we spoke about the additional language in our communications general order that covers the use and guidelines pertaining to our new encrypted radio status.
Yep.
The commission wanted to have an opportunity to look at the general order,
We did.
and it's been reviewed by the administration, as well as those officers that worked on implementing the encryption on our radios, and we believe we've covered all our bases. But also added that after a certain amount of time, that the police commission reserves the right to maybe review it, reanalyze, and make the proper changes if something's not working the way we had projected. Other than that, I see that it's meeting all the criteria that it needs to for us to maintain an encrypted status.
I know we are in charge of general orders. I don't know if it actually requires a vote, but I'm gonna make a vote that we amend the general orders to include this updated, it's not a draft, but update the general orders based on our new encryption police radios. With the caveat that, as we always do, we review our general orders regularly to make sure that they say what they are supposed to say and are working the way we want them to work.
Yeah, I think it's beneficial for officer safety, number one, residents, personal information, two, and then three, obviously it's in line with state statute, so that works, so I'll second the motion.
It all looks good to me, so all those in favor? So our general orders will be updated, and you will keep us apprised of how it's working. Building issues update, anything?
No, I'm pleased to announce that I don't have much to talk about.
Because you just replaced everything.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Past meetings, I had brought up the bigger projects we were working on, all those have been all settled and completed, with the exception of a door lock here or there that's got to get replaced. Other than that, we're in pretty good shape.
Excellent.
And I will say that this is the first July and August that I can remember that the building kind of really maintained its, what we were asking it to do as far as cooling goes.
Yeah, I mean, there's...
Little adjustments here and there, but no major
Their
repairs.
dispatch is good now too, with the air conditioning.
Yeah, that split system is working out very well.
Good.
All right, traffic, anything with traffic? Hearing none. New business, request for retirement, Sergeant Kerry McGowan, effective September 1st, 2024.
As always, it's a bittersweet item on the agenda when someone's requesting retirement, but after 24 years and having been appointed on August 11th, year 2000, Sergeant McGowan was appointed to the Darien Police Department, worked here for 24 years, the last 13 as a sergeant. I believe she was the second female sergeant ever in the Darien Police Department and has served us very well, and included holding down the fort on the evening shift for the last many years. Carrie's done a great job, and it's going to be sad to see her go. We do, however, wish her the best in the next chapter. So I would recommend to the commission to approve her retirement request.
Likewise, it's always bittersweet, but we will, with regret, accept her retirement, so.
She had a very nice note, I felt, and complimented you, Chief, in there, so that was nice. Second the motion.
All those in favor of accepting this retirement?
We wish her the best.
We do. Second, request for retirement, Animal Control Officer Charles Stahl, effective September 1st, 2024.
It's not ending with Sergeant Isaac. Another longstanding vet of our agency is requesting retirement, Chip Stahl. Our animal control officer extraordinaire has done a fantastic job for us over the last 19 plus years. He intends to retire on September 1st. It's well-deserved. I know he's bailed me out of quite a few animal type call jams over my career, and I'm sure Captain Mastriani can say the same. He's been someone who's been a resource, not just during his office hours, but outside of his office hours too. He comes in on his own time and helps us a lot. I wish him the best. I congratulate him. I wish he has a long, healthy, and happy retirement. He's not going too far. He's still going to be living in the area, and of course, you know, in the nature that he has, he says, if you need anything, let us know. But we wish him the best, and again, I would recommend the commission to approve his retirement request as well.
Yeah, I've gotten to know Chip over the past couple of years, and he's a fantastic individual, very dedicated, as you had mentioned. And I know one recent investigation he was working on that the residents were very, very happy with his work. So
And
wish him all the best.
I didn't know this until now, and I won't say it out loud, but his email is
Yeah,
reflective
email
of his job, which is.
You know, when people don't know what to do, they call the police a lot. You know, we're like kind of the junk drawer of everybody's problems. When the police don't know what to do, we call Chip Stahl. So we thank Chip for all his years of service and all the help he's provided.
And now I know where to find him.
Love the email, by the way.
Yes, the email is good. I make a motion that we accept Chip Stahl's request for retirement.
Second.
All those in favor? The sergeant vacancy.
So with the pending retirement of Sergeant McGowan come September 1st, there will be a vacancy for the sergeant's position. We do not currently have a in-place promotional list for the rank of sergeant. As you know, the commission has 30 days to decide whether to abolish that position or to move forward with seeking a valid candidate for promotion. We have already been in contact, and I guess we'll get to that a little bit about the process, but the process could be initiated once the vacancy is created, which would be September 1st. And as we've done in the past, and I would recommend to the commission again, is to announce a test at least 60 days in advance of the September 1st date. And we will be working with the police association and potentially modifying the promotional process, but we can talk about that.
Well, no,
when
we
get
can
to
talk
that.
about, we can do.
So the police association president reached out to me, requested and proposed a new format in our test, not so much of testing, but more of the scoring and how we were going to rank the individuals who are eligible to take the sergeant's test and use a tier type process. And I believe the commission has the proposal and the criteria that it would involve. Specifically, it involves a written test and an oral test and a combined score based on percentage of weight with addition to seniority points to come up with somewhat of a ranking. What the commission or what the association is proposing, and I believe we've talked about in the past, is to rank those officers in tiers, not necessarily 1 through 10, 1 through 15, or whatever it is, but put them in a top
Bands.
bands, yeah, bands or tier, put them in a top band or middle band and a band below them. And we'll work out the details with the association, but I would recommend to the commission to approve modifying that process, but especially, as we mentioned before, with the caveat that we can review it and revisit it if it doesn't work as intended.
I have no problem, but, and I did read the draft, which I thought was very well laid out and made a lot of good points. So I have no problem trying it and seeing how it works for the commission. And again, with the caveat that once this list expires, we can revisit and see if it worked for us and if it got the job done and worked for everybody.
One other point is that we have already since reached out to the testing company that we used in the past. They are familiar with this type of scoring process, however, they didn't use it for agencies our size. However, we discussed the different format that we were looking to customize almost for us, and they believe that they can carry that out for us. So we've already been in talks with them and confident that they can work with
And
us
if they
on
have
that.
any best practices, you know, I mean, I read it, I thought it was well laid out, I thought it made a lot of great points, but if this is their business, they see every agency, or, I mean, that's their job, so if they have any tweaks, I'd be happy to have them weigh in.
Yeah, the test itself is 100% the same. We're just talking about a banding concept, which I think makes a lot of sense for the department. Yeah.
So I don't know if we are approving them to move forward with having you guys deal with the details, or do you want us to?
Well, we would have to have, I would recommend getting a proposal from the police association that we mutually agree on before we announce the actual test taking place. So that'll happen
Well,
probably.
we certainly have intention to fill the vacancy, so that's no doubt about that. And how the test gets scored, we can work through
Okay.
that over the 60 days we're waiting to administer the test.
Excellent.
Okay,
Do you want to make a formal motion, or do you want? So, yeah,
yeah,
all right, so I'll just make a motion to fill the sergeant vacancy, and in addition to that, motion for the banding concept along with the police association.
Second. Anything we should add to that?
I don't think so. I mean, we'll have to work out a few more details.
But
But once it's mutually agreed upon by both the administration, the commission, and the union, I think we can move forward, and I think it would be a good move.
But again, I do want to put in that, that this is for this promotional testing period, and that the commission would reserve the right to review it when we go into have the next opening, when we have the next testing process. I just want to make sure we're not locked into something that somehow, my anticipation is it will work great. I mean, we're not doing it because we think it's going to be bad, but we will review it when this testing, this list is expired. All those in favor? Okay, last but not least, request for the SROs to wear the Traverse vest over their uniform shirts, which I think we have a picture of what exactly that means.
Yeah, there's a couple photos here of SRO Brown, both in a current SRO uniform versus what they're proposing to add to it. Currently, they have been wearing their body armor underneath their polo type shirt, uniform shirt, and the request has been made that they can wear the same Traverse body armor carrier that our patrol officers do. And they brought up a lot of good reasons as to why that should be done. And primarily, both of our current SROs have tactical background from other agencies. They both came from other agencies. And one of the big things in our line of work, especially with firearms training and handcuffing and less lethal type training, is muscle memory. And our SROs are carrying their equipment currently in places other than they would be when they're working the road as a regular patrol officer. And where as a regular patrol officer, a lot of their equipment is kept on the MOLLE system in their Traverse vest carrier, where their handcuffs, additional sources, flashlights, tourniquets, you name it, the radio, the functionality of the radio is all up on their chest. But when they're working in the capacity of an SRO, that equipment's all on their belt. So it can get confusing. As you know, in emergency type situations, that can get even more confusing. So muscle memory is a big part of what we do in our training, and that's just that reason alone, I'm supportive of them being able to wear that vest carrier. A few other points that they brought up is comfort and mobility. And for your knowledge, nearly 100% of our uniformed officers wear their Traverse vest carrier currently. It is best practice in the industry at this point. For our SROs, we're even put into place that vest carrier wasn't an option, but now that it is, we're seeing that it's probably better to have everyone not only just look the same for uniformity purposes, but for practicality, functionality, efficiency, and safety. So they've approached us. I don't think it's unreasonable, and in a serious emergency, we're going to have patrol officers there, and part of my training has always been where your equipment is placed on your body and on your uniform. We should all be uniformed, so that if Captain Hedema needed to assist me with something, he knows where my equipment is, I know where his equipment is, and that could be life-saving at some point. I would recommend to the commission to approve the SROs having the option of wearing the Traverse vest carrier while they're acting in the capacity of the SRO at the two schools, Darien High School and Middlesex Middle School.
They certainly look more police-like. I don't know if that's a positive or negative.
Well, one of the points they brought up too is they had been misidentified as school security officers and not police officers on a couple of occasions, because they do look similar. And I think there is a level of importance to have our sworn personnel look a little different than our civilian school security officers.
Just on that, as school security, have they, I know it's completely different, but have they suggested wearing a vest too, or have they plan on doing that? I have no idea.
Not really sure.
Okay.
That
I think it makes a lot of sense.
sense.
Yeah, I mean, your email was very detailed, so
Yeah.
it makes sense.
I have no problem. Whatever makes them more comfortable, most comfortable, and whatever gives them the most safety, and they can perform their job to the highest standards, that seems like something
I
we
think
should
that's a
support.
component.
So I make a motion that we, allow them to, their choice, but that we approve them wearing their Traverse vests over their uniform shirts if they so choose.
Second.
In favor? That was fine. Okay, it's a special meeting, we've come to the end of our, I think the only thing left is decide when our next meeting is. Which Kevin's not here, so we probably should send out an email to make sure.
For the week of the 8th is not good for me, just FYI.
So Rick, the two next regular would be the 5th and the 19th?
Right, that's it.
I don't think we need to meet on the 5th. Should we shoot for the 19th? See if that works for people?
Yeah.
I know, so that week doesn't work for you, the 8th, the 26th does not work for me, so let's hope the 19th works, or sometime that week.
Sounds good.
All right. But Rick will send an email. Okay, with that, we are adjourned.